like this, like every alumnus says, I'm a graduate of the greatest class ever to graduate from Booker T that ever will be. So anyway, I grew up on the train tracks on North Virgin Street, about 7-minute jog from Booker T. And I knew that because I ran into Coach Mills, who was your principal, was my basketball coach. And sometimes on Saturday he would make us practice, so I would run to school. So I grew up about 7 minutes from here. I'm a full-core magnet school student. I went to Sequoia before they started the little school. They took our first and second graders at Dunbar, sent us to Sequoia. They took the third and fourth graders, left them there, and they took the fifth and sixth graders and sent them to another school. The funny thing about that, being at Sequoia, is that I had a real good white brother that I became friends with. His name was Steve Gettleman. And so me and Steve, you know, about halfway through the year, we decided, man, let's, you know, man, you stay all night with me and I'll come stay all night with you. So we thought, well, we go to school together. Certainly our parents would be cool enough to let us, you know, hang out on the weekend. So I went home and, you know, I asked my old man, you know, he had his opinion, and by the time, you know, Steve got back, he asked, you know, his dad, and we kind of looked at each other and said, man, that's not going to work. We're going to have to figure out another way to hang out after school. So we became school crossing guards. That was the best thing we could do. That's what society was. Everybody wasn't that excited about the magnet school system and about, you know, black students and white students, Hispanic students, Oriental students coming to school together. The following year, I went to Burroughs and was immediately placed in a little school, which was the prefabs that Ms. Mack was talking about. The funny thing about being out in the little school is that everybody in the big school, because we were segregated from them, you know, the kids were kind of looking at us like, oh, you're better than us. And we were just like, you know, I mean, I'm in the second grade. Oh, man, I'm just here, you know. I mean, there's 12 blacks and 12 whites. And, you know, we eat the same lunch. You know, we do a little bit different work from you guys because we were sort of core students at that time. But all the big school students, their joke with us was that we were on a little bus because we went to little school. So, you know, we didn't think that was too funny, but, you know, we just kind of had to roll with it because that's the way it was. But it was a very difficult time for, you know, to be so young and to have to deal with, you know, being separated. And, you know, we didn't know it as racism. You know, racism is something that's taught to you. You know, racism is not something that you're born with. So that was very challenging at that point. So I went on to Carver, came on to Booker T. My dad was sort of like the George Jefferson type. So, you know, sometimes when I went home and talked about school, you know, he kind of had that little George Jefferson swag about it, and he made jokes. But it was always, you know, at the end of it, my aunt, I was raised by my aunt and uncle, they were always encouraging to me. And they always understood that this magnet school thing would someday work out to be a better way for us. I was one of the students who was friends with everyone. I went from Utica Square to 56th Street North with my friendships. My life has been wonderful because of the tools of communication that I learned from Booker T. I'm currently the executive director for One Tulsa, and because of the communication tools and the boldness that I learned from Booker T, I was actually able to this year pull out Juneteenth at Guthrie Green on Brady Street, which of course all of you know is a very heated subject. But thanks to the fact that I knew that I would have people from all different races celebrating in one place at one time, we were able to do that, and that's because of what I learned from Booker T. I'm also the parade chair for the MLK parade in Tulsa, which is the second largest in the country at this time. We're looking forward to a great celebration this year, and those tools that I apply in that instance come from, you know, the background and the foundation that I learned from Booker T. So I encourage all of you students as you continue your education here and as you go further to realize that, you know, it's not that I'm so special that I'm from Booker T, but it's what you learn here. It's the friendships that you establish. Many of my friends from my class, from Carver and from Booker T, are on committees for the activities that we all participate in. And one of the wonderful things that we enjoy is when you see Coach Birch or Coach Mills or Miss McDonald and they come around and they see that the black students not only went to school together, but we have long life friendships, and we're still working together to make Tulsa a better place, to make Oklahoma a better place, and to make the United States a better nation for the next generation to live in. So I'm not bragging, I'm not talking a lot of noise, but you guys are Booker T. When you graduate, go out and conquer the world. It's not all that, it's just Booker T, and it's what we do. Thank you.